Hey there, football fans. Welcome back into another episode of Between the Posts. I'm Jason Mattis. He's Matthew Lawrence, as always. It's been a while since we've been with you guys. The games are coming fast and furious, but we're with you guys now to talk Premier League Matchweek number 27. How's it going, Matt?
It's going well. Liverpool yesterday, 6-0 against Leeds. That was fun. You're United in the Champions League, kind of coming back, 1-1. I mean, they didn't deserve much from that game, did they, Jason? And they scrapped away though.
No, I mean, I don't recall the defender's name, but if he doesn't slip, they don't get a goal. So yeah, they're extremely lucky that the guy reaches for the ball, he slips, and Elanga still's got to put it past him now. That was a great finish, but
that was a great finish, and I think that he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's becoming the super sub too. He got a goal last game coming off the bench, so we didn't deserve the point, but we'll take the point and move on to Old Trafford in a couple weeks, and hopefully that. But hey, thanks to Liverpool, we've got a title race. How about that? I did not think a month, 2 months ago, we had a title race. We have got one thanks to Liverpool.
We do. It's going to be intense, and yeah, I mean, they play in a month. It's we'll see what happens. I mean, there are so many good quality teams in this league. This whole Tottenham debacle, beating City, losing to Burnley, and now we're going to see if I have a bet on them in this upcoming fixture, but just wacky. That's why we love this league, Jason.
Yeah, they took my money yesterday. I had them in under 4.5 parlay. Thought they'd win it 1-0, 2-0. Okay, maybe Burnley gets one, but certainly under 4.5, and obviously they get nothing, and Burnley gets a late header to go ahead and snatch up all 3 points. I'm happy that keeps Burnley still in relegation, but for a guy who really profits off Burnley every season, I want them in the Premier League because I don't pay attention to the Championship as much. So hate to lose money yesterday, but overall I think it was a good result for me.
Yeah, Burnley are still scrappy, and I wouldn't be shocked if they can find a way because they always do find a way. And I thought that they actually deserved the 3 points yesterday. I know that Tottenham had their spells at times in the second half, but the first half was really all Burnley, and there was a couple half chances that Tottenham could put away, and Burnley pounced. That was the most classic Burnley performance yesterday you will ever see.
That's right. That's right. All right, let's move it over to now to match week number 27. We've got the comment section open. You guys want to go ahead and fire in some of your best bets as we go through these games, please do so. And hit that like button while you're sitting there enjoying that content. Let's let Matt kick it off first. We got a Friday afternoon game between Southampton and Norwich. What's going to happen here?
Yeah, I think that this one's, probably my most obvious bet of the week, but I like what Southampton are cooking up right now. I think that Ralph Hasenhüttl has always been underrated. And look, I think that Norwich is still the worst. They're the worst team in this league, and it shows with a negative 38 goal differential right now. So I'm going with Southampton and under 4.5 goals. And you can find that around in between minus 115 and minus 125, depending on where you're looking. I just think that it'll be very difficult for Norwich to score here. And as long as Southampton just don't go crazy on me and score 5, which is just, that would be a lot. But then I feel good about this one, and look at Southampton right now. No defeats at halftime in their last 20 home games in the Premier League. So they're doing well at the start. This is going to be theirs. This is probably a Southampton halftime, full-time look. If you're watching, just, I think that's an interesting angle. And they're unbeaten in 12 of their last 13 at home. I mean, they don't get beat here. And then now we have a poor Norwich side that have won 4 in their last 25 in the Premier League. I mean, they're bottom feeders. They're bad. This is mid-table versus the bottom, and the table doesn't lie here, and Southampton are going to collect 3 points.
Norwich did pull off the win in the reverse fixture 2-1, but I'm with you in that analysis. This is all pro Southampton. I went from a different angle just because I generally try and find plus money bets when I can, and I like Norwich's team total under 0.5. I've given that bet out a few times. We've obviously cashed it a few times as well. Everything you said is accurate, and I'll just piggyback on that. I don't see Norwich scoring. I think your under 4.5 play is probably better than mine. If I had, if I'm honest, if I'm only betting one of these two, I would certainly, bet yours because clean sheets are tough to come by, and maybe Norwich, does get one, and that game finishes a 3-1. I could see a 3-1 finish, but I like everything you said. Norwich can't score. Southampton's been really tough at home, so give me that Southampton clean sheet, and you can get that at plus 128 at FanDuel. That's why I like it.
Yeah, I think that's when I just talk about it more. I mean, I think that halftime, full time makes a ton of sense here, and that's going to be at a plus price too. So yeah, and again, Southampton, they score goals. They've scored at least one in their last 11 matches.
I'll go ahead and look up the odds on that one. Why don't you go ahead and talk about Leeds and Tottenham, and I'll look up a halftime, full time of Southampton.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Leeds and Tottenham. I think that after the match yesterday with Spurs, people look ahead. They look to this and they're like, "There's no way I'm trusting Spurs now." And
put me in that category. Ain't no way in hell I'm trusting Spurs now.
I am. I'm gonna trust him here because of what I saw from Leeds. Okay, this is a classic setup here, Jason. Of Tottenham, they go to Man City and they put together a great game plan and they step up to their competition. Then the classic letdown spot comes in. They now have to go on the road to Burnley, which is never easy. But you're playing one of the worst teams in the league, and you step down. And Tottenham still are a work in progress. They are absolutely a work in progress right now, but they are far beyond what Leeds are at right now. Leeds are they're in dire straits right now. I mean, look at what's going on with them. It's the injury bug, and I'm going to pick on them. I would not play this if some of their guys were in, but they are so bad right now. And I think that Tottenham, after the letdown against Burnley, will recollect themselves and step back up again and playing a team that is they're conceding goals left and right. I mean, Leeds have conceded as many goals this season as they did in the whole basically of last season, and we're only here at match day, whatever it is. I mean,
27. Yep.
27. We're at match day 27. They've conceded just as many. This is a really decent buy low spot on Tottenham, and I think that you could even get more aggressive with it if you want to and try to find some plus prices out there. I think that they're going to put 2, maybe even 3 past Leeds here. I know that they're not Liverpool, and I think that Leeds will collect themselves after getting crushed at Anfield. But I think that when I was watching Rafinha yesterday, Jason, some of these guys on Leeds are just starting to hold their heads a little bit and just look down. And I think that he is definitely going to get a move. I think that just after getting absolutely torched by City, Liverpool, some of the big guns this year, he's going to be thinking, I got to get out of here. And yeah, no Calvin Phillips, no Cooper. It's just a problem. And I don't love Tottenham. I really don't. I think that I want to bet against them, against a lot of these teams in this league, but Leeds is not one of them. So Leeds and Tottenham, I'm going with Tottenham as my banker play of the week, 2 units at minus 110. They're gonna return to some form here.
Tottenham on the bounce back for you. Yeah, certainly a team that I can't trust and doesn't really have to do anything with my midweek loss. I mean, Tottenham's lost 4 of the last 5 games. I don't know what I'm going to get from Tottenham. Maybe that City thing was an anomaly because they did bump up to the competition and their most stretches of losing 4 out of 5 is more of a real thing. You're right. Both of these teams are in terrible form. The last 5 form, Leeds is in 20th place in the table and Tottenham's in 17th place in the table. Normally when I get games that involve these kind of clubs, it's just a stay away from me. I don't know what to expect. You got bottom of the barrel clubs basically in terms of form. So with not knowing what to trust, with Tottenham's really big inconsistency, they've obviously cooled off from their manager bounce from getting in Conte. Yeah, you expect the Leeds to be better. I mean, they lost 6-0, so they can't be any worse. They're coming home. Complete stay away from me. I don't trust anything about either one of these squads right now. Injuries, form, nothing. So stay away from me, but let's go Tottenham. Let's bring home the banker this week, baby.
Let's do it.
All right, let's jump in here to the next match. I've got a bet for this next one. I've got Brentford versus Newcastle. I'm going over 2.5 goals. I just see plenty of goals. There's facts to support it, whether you look up the goals per game, whether it's a home and away basis for Brentford or Newcastle. You want to go ahead and look up the reverse fixture. I believe it was a 3-3 thriller. Cracker, absolutely thrilling of a game right there. Newcastle is in 17th place, but Burnley has a game in hand. So Newcastle is obviously feeling the pressure. They're going to have to go for it. You don't make all those January signings just to sit back and play defensive. They're going to be going for it each and every single game. So I like goals. We know how Brentford's been better at home. They score at home. They also give up goals, but I just like their attacking prowess at home. So it's over 2.5 goals, and I got that at plus 114 at Barstools.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, I basically I was actually looking at Barstools too because I think that they do a decent job with some of their Asian lines and in comparison to some of the other books. And I picked out. Yeah, I'm on the same bet with you. I totally agree. I think that you can't trust Newcastle's defense, but you can put your faith into some of their attacking players. And Brentford at home generally do a better job of giving it a go. I don't want to back Brentford on the road, but I'll back them to score a goal here. So yeah, this is same bet really. I just brought it down a little bit. You've got a plus money bet, so I love yours, and I'm going with the over 2.25 here at minus 115. Shop around again somewhere in between the minus 110s and minus 120s on this bet, and yeah, it's for all the reasons really that you said. And then I also had a question for you too, Jason. What do you think about possibly taking a small future bet on Burnley to stay in the league?
Oh, I'd be all over that. How much plus money is it? I'm all over it.
I don't. It's going to be plus money. I know that it's plus money. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's something that is interesting that we might want to consider.
The only thing I've seen at sportsbooks is you can bet on who's going to get relegated. I haven't seen anything for anybody to get saved. So if you find that, let me know. Yeah,
I'll look around after this.
Oh yeah, I'd like that. By the way, your Southampton halftime full time was at plus 110. So good plus money bet right there. We can thank Molly for putting some spam in the comment sections. Do not click that link, people. That'll probably take your computer and make it blow up right in the middle of this broadcast. So don't go clicking on whatever the hell Molly's putting in the comment section. Let's keep rolling right along here. We've got Brighton versus Villa, two teams that are coming off a disappointing performance. Villa can't score against Watford. Brighton can't score against Burnley. Okay, you guys know how I feel about Burnley. I'll give Brighton a pass there. But disappointing performances because it was at home. If you look at the table, last 5, last 10, these two teams, the furthest separation they are 12 and 14 in the table. So two teams that are relatively even, I think, in this current moment. I see no separation, so I kind of like to draw in this game. I'm not going to bet it, but I like to draw. No real separation for me.
I like that. I think that this is a draw match. I really don't know. This game is going to come down to half chances, and if somebody can take one of those half chances and really create something with it, because I don't see anything really separating these sides at all. I think that this has draw written all over it, really. Just something, I guess, one thing to keep in mind is Villa in this head-to-head against Brighton. They're undefeated in 8 of the 9. So they rarely do get beat by Brighton. I don't put really any stock into that because Brighton did beat them one time last year. So the one time was last season, 2-1 to Brighton. But yeah,
let me jump in here for a second. How when you look at head-to-heads, I only go 2 seasons back because of manager turnover and roster turnover. How far back are you willing to put stock into head-to-head?
There's some that I am more willing than others. There's some that, I mean, if these teams, have been in the league for 10 years, and let's say like Chelsea has gotten the better of Southampton, for example, for the last 10 years, like I'm still kind of interested in that because what it does is it just shows the pedigree and the class difference. And it makes, gives you a little bit more confidence, I think, that, that your team, will prevail really in that. So here's one, though. So I think that we both agree with the draw. I think that means that we both agree that this game is going to be low scoring. And when you look at Villa's last 3 matches on the road, all of them have been under 2.5. And we know that Brighton, they create some chances, but they struggle sometimes to finish them off. And there's decent defenders in this match. This probably goes under the number.
I agree. This game's on the NBC Sports Predictor app this week, and I predicted 1-1. I think they both maybe scrape one across, but that's it. Neither one's going to get to 2. So I did 1-1.
That's where I'm at. I would leave this, at a 1-1.
All right, another game I don't see many goals being scored in is Crystal Palace versus Burnley. I am on the under 2.5, and it is juicy at minus 141. There's a reason it's juicy at minus 141. We don't really need to talk about Burnley. Let's just focus here on Crystal Palace. You are getting them at home, so that makes me a touch nervous. But you know what? Burnley 2 games ago was in 20th place. Burnley is now in 18th place. Again, 2 points out. What a game in hand. These players probably don't like what Sean Dice is asking them to do, but when you look at the table and you're coming up, you keep believing in what the manager's doing, and you keep going out there and you keep executing those orders. So he's going to put it in a game plan on the road that's going to be defensive. Palace is going to struggle. I predict this one's also on the NBC Sports Predictor app, and I predicted a 0-0 game. I'm also going to give that out as a real bet, a 0-0 correct score. We've hit 2 of these. We got them against Watford. We got it against Arsenal in a Burnley fixture. I'm going right back to it. Under 2.5 is the bet. The correct score will be put out later on. I haven't determined out how many units I'm going to put on that, but yeah, this one's going to be 0-0. Nothing's going to be happening in this game.
Yeah, no, this one almost made my card, Jason. This was like the one where I was just very close. I haven't, but again, I've got time here, and this is the one that I just kind of wanted to wait on a little bit. And look at Burnley right now, man. I mean, look at what they are cooking up. And I watched them full 90 minutes of them against, a top 3 team in the world in Liverpool, and they were really solid. And then they were really solid yesterday against Spurs. And then they beat Brighton 3-0. And they draw with United and draw with Watford and draw with Arsenal. I mean, they are in fantastic form. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at these last 6 matches, Jason. I mean, to be able to collect 9 points in the last 6, like that, this is the turning point here for them. And on the flip side with Palace, I mean, they drew 1-1 with Norwich not too long ago. That's not impressive. You know that they are generally better at home, but I mean, something here tells me that Burnley are a team that I just want to keep riding as far as I can go with them. So I haven't decided yet on this match, but I really can see myself getting on a double chance bet here, and it's how do you not like an under 2.5 here? I don't know how this one finds its way over the total unless Burnley were to get some type of early set piece goal, and then Palace actually did something to, because when Burnley have to protect a lead, there's not many teams in this league that I would rather have other than them.
No way.
I mean, they're incredible. Their defense is incredible, and Nick Pope is a Pope. I mean, he's incredible. He's a top 5 goalie in this league, in my opinion. I've watched him for a few years now, and he makes super saves everywhere. I remember a match against United, I think. Like
Cavani, he saved that header off the line a few weeks ago.
Oh, my God.
Cavani short-necked it because he thought he was going to get punched by Pope. He came across the line aggressive, but I think if Cavani goes after, he probably gets punched in the face.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm just a huge Nick Pope fan, and Ben Mee, and these guys are they're legit. They're legit, and they are going to scrap. And like you mentioned, they are executing game plans right now. Palace present athletic issues. They have got some really athletic players, but it doesn't really matter when you're going up against tactics like this with Dyche.
I know.
It just doesn't. So, I'm interested in like a Burnley, somewhat in a parlay piece too, like grabbing Burnley at a plus. Give me Burnley plus 1.5 in this game all day. Mm-hmm. As a nice little parlay piece, just to add to something else and find something else wherever it may be.
Like it. That is, they don't even offer that. The highest they'll go is 0.75. Wow, that's juicy. But I mean, you're right. It's a parlay piece, so you're willing to pay. When it's a parlay piece, you're willing to pay juice. You're willing to go up to minus 200, maybe touch 300. But yeah, no, it certainly is. Okay, all right. Let's move right along now to Manchester United versus Watford. One of the things I talked about on this game on the NBC Sports Predictor app, as this game also made that app, is really I talked about really just the rosters, right? Both these teams played midweek. Who's going to have the roster? Who's going to have more of the experience of bouncing back 3 days later? Because there's not a lot of confidence that makes me want to throw my money behind Manchester United these days in any fashion. A team total, a win. Yeah, we got lucky to get a double chance payout the other day in midweek in Champions League. The only thing is these players are used to coming back 3 days later. The recovery should be better on these guys. Otherwise, nothing makes me want to support this team. I was disappointed as a fan, disappointed as a neutral yesterday watching that game. First, Atletico Madrid. So I predicted 2-1 on the NBC Sports Predictor app, but I have zero confidence in that.
I know. They're a weird team right now, and to be honest with you, Jason, I had a very good feeling that that's the way it was going to go yesterday, because I think that Atleti, they've still got some magic in them, and when they turn up and they execute game plans, I mean, I'm just glad I didn't end up really siding with anything in that game. I had some Ronaldo anytime goal scorer that never even got a sniff. But I sided with draw no bet Atleti. But I just thought it was just like whatever. I would have been pissed if I ended up locking that in, because that should have been a winner.
Yeah.
By all accounts, they were better everywhere. The midfield, United couldn't get out of the pressure. They were just, it was awful, really. But they do still, United have got that. They've got that feeling about them, though, still, that they're just never out of games, and they're one Bruno pass away from unlocking somebody. So I just need to take a look more at this game. You're right. I don't trust United in the slightest.
You can get both teams to score at even money. They're having moments where anybody can score on it. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. You're able to get a goal past them. Maybe both teams to score at even money is a nice look here in this fixture. I just saw it even money.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about this game. I'm United. I hate to say this too, Jason. I don't want them to get in the top 4, obviously, because I'm a Liverpool fan. But I just don't like the way that they play football right now. It's not entertaining at all. And I think that it's kind of due to just Ronaldo and coming back and some of that. I mean, I still think that he's contributed. Well, like, what do you think of the Ronaldo experiment thus far?
I hate it. There was one time yesterday where he dropped down about the halfway line, a little bit. He was kind of in the circle, and he didn't get it, and he just slapped both of his thighs. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible just to have around the dressing room, have on the pitch. It's all me. Hated the signing. Yep. Don't like how this season has gone. Hope we can get top 4 out of it, because then it would be a savior, but hate it. I can't wait for him to move on or miss out on top 4. If you can tell me miss out on top 4 and Ronaldo's guaranteed to be gone, miss top 4. Get him on out of there.
Yeah, I think that he needs to go. I agree with that.
So let's move it over now to the blue side of Manchester. Let's talk Everton versus Manchester City. Look, City's dominated this. You talk about head-to-heads. Heck, they got 3 straight clean sheets over Everton. Everton backed up a good performance against Leeds with a stinker up against Southampton, losing 2-0. They're going to struggle against City, even though it's going to be at Goodison Park. They're still going to struggle to see this ball. 3 straight clean sheets. You can make it 4 straight clean sheets. I like City on their team total. You can do City to score in both halves at -116 over a FanDuel. But for me, the extra goal at plus money, that's where generally I'm always going to side. So give me the over 2.5 team total at +116 over a FanDuel. They're going to get the job done. And that Liverpool's put the pressure on them. They're coming off a loss. Now the gap's only 3 points. They've got Champions League sewn up for Sporting. They won that first leg 5-0, so that's a wrap. They got Peterborough midweek in FA Cup, so not like, we got to rest anybody for Peterborough. So, yeah, this is it. Liverpool is right behind them. They know it. They're going to smash Everton. Give me that team total at +116.
Yeah, I'm there with you here. This is a great bounce back spot. I mean, it's not an easy place to go, and I watched the entirety of the 3-0 first head-to-head this season with Rafa Benitez there. Benitez issued seriously a masterclass in the first half, and then City scored in like the 45th minute to just unravel things. So it was like 1-0 right into the halftime whistle, and then the match was over. But the first 40 minutes, they set up so defensive, like Rafa Benitez knows how to do. Mm-hmm. I just don't know, like, what does Frank want to do here? Like, does he want to just, if I'm him, like, give it a go. Like, you got to give it a go here. You got to go and try and score some goals. Like, you can't just let City come there and just walk all over you. So I think that Everton could score. I've got a feeling that Everton on the counter or something could find the back of the net. Look at what Spurs did. Spurs wasn't anything crazy. It was some nice counterattacks. And with Richarlison, Lewin, some of these players, Gray, they should be able to find a way there too. Yeah, so I kind of like both teams to score yes and City to win. And you could find that at a plus price. I like your team total. I like City to score in both halves. I think if Everton want to come out and give it a go, then City, they'll probably carve them up a couple times in both halves. So, yeah, that's I've left this one, but yeah, it's just City, and sometimes their games are hard to get involved in.
Yeah, I just love the whole 3 points off a loss. I wasn't going to stay off City this week. I thought this was a good spot to back them in some capacity. There's a plethora of bets. You mentioned a couple. I mentioned a couple. Get behind City this week, folks. They're going to get the job done against Everton. Then last one on the slate here is West Ham.
One thing, Jason. Sorry. What about Burnley plus 1.5 and City money line?
Sure. Burnley's not getting blown out. Burnley's not going to get blown out from here to the rest of the season. They're not getting blown out. He's never going to set them up that way.
I think that's a decent look.
Yeah. What about West Ham? West Ham Wolves? I'd like to see how today's match goes, but West Ham, obviously, they earned a first-round bye in Europa League. I'm not quite sure. It's actually funny this week when I went to go handicap games. I was like, I thought West Ham was in Europa League. Like, what happened? I didn't realize they got a first-round bye. I didn't realize they did, buys this season. But anyways, so they're going to be rested. They're going to be sitting back watching what Wolves does this afternoon against Arsenal. I think that is the edge. I don't think there's much of an edge right now. I really love how Wolves has been playing. You've been able to capitalize on that and maybe put money in your pocket. But I just think the extra rest is the only edge. I think they're going to scrape this out 1-0. I think this one will definitely go with the under 2.5. But I think West Ham 1-0 will be able to get it out. The extra legs, the extra rest, the planning time will help them out. So I got West Ham 1-0. You can look at under 2.5. It's juicy, but that's my lean. But I like West Ham 1-0.
That makes me want the under 2.5 more. I think you're right. I didn't think about this one too much. What I kind of went into is I love that. Let's go, Jeff.
Yeah.
So when thinking about this one, I looked at Arsenal and then I looked at West Ham, and I think that Wolves have all of the capabilities in the world to win one of these two games. And you're getting plus 500 and plus 300. But you're very right, Jason. I mean, this is a Europa League. This is one of those fearsome Europa League spots that you hate. A Thursday to Sunday. And West Ham, for some reason, how are West Ham not playing today? I don't get that.
I don't know. Apparently the teams that finished in first place, like all the first place teams like in the group got a bye. They did. This is the first year they've obviously done this. I think it's because teams in the conference came up, or I don't know. The Europa Conference League has kind of thrown my.
That kind of annoys me.
But yeah, so they got a bye, so they're sitting back.
That really does make the edge, Jason. I think that you're spot on here. I still think that Wolves are going to be difficult.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? That it also makes me maybe even in pivot, because I think that the under 2.5 is going to be really nice then.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think under 2.5 will hit in this game today. Before we give out our bets, did you have a bet on today's game? It was at minus 150, so I didn't bet it, but did you, under 2?
I would only be with Wolves.
Only be with those. Okay.
But the thing is Arsenal actually has one of those kind of head-to-head dominant, Wolves, when they play them, they've done really well in that fixture. So that's what's kind of keeping me off of it. But I bet Wolves at 5-1 to beat United. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't bet Wolves at 5-1 to beat Arsenal. Really, I'm not that high on Arsenal. I think that they're a good side, but I think that Wolves are gonna cause them problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this match probably does stay under 2.5 today, Jason. I think that might be the best way to go in.
It was at minus 150, so I didn't bet it. And the one against West Ham under 2.5 is at minus 145. So, again, that's why I did not end up betting it. You'll like my bet for today's Arsenal versus Wolves game. For whatever reason, these two teams don't get cards. You go look up the season, they don't get cards. Now, go look up at the head-to-head. They've had games of 7, 7, 7, and 6 in the recent head. Like, I don't know what it is. These two teams just sort of like get at each other. Anyways, Granit Xhaka plus 185 to get a card, baby.
Yeah,
I booked it, full unit on it. Granit Xhaka.
I love that. I love that.
He's in those stats where I said 7, 7, 7, 6. He had a card in 3 of those 4. I mean, this guy.
This guy, man. This guy. I love that. That is digging, and yeah, I mean, he is. That's an auto bet almost, like
especially at 185, 2-1.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think that he's gonna do something stupid in one of 2 games, and if you just keep consistently betting it, then you're gonna probably find a way to some profit.
Well, to your point, he's had 12 appearances and 6 cards.
There you go. I mean, you bet it every single time. And
bet it every time. Yeah, every time. All right, let's give these people our bets for today. Match week number 26. You go first. There you're at.
Like Southampton and the under 4.5 against Norwich at home. Spurs on the bounce back, 2 units. You know, it's Spurs. They'll find a way to screw me, but I have to go with this one. Brentford, Newcastle. We both like the overs there, over 2.25. And you're making me think about cashing out my Wolves, Jason. You're making me think about right now going into the sports book and hitting cash out and maybe looking towards the unders in Wolves, because that is a little bit unfair. That I think that West Ham definitely gain an edge from this rest.
Yeah, I think that'll just push them in the last 15, 20 minutes. They're going to end up getting a goal. They're going to pull out a 1-0 win. All right, my bets this weekend, I'm going Palace, Burnley, under 2.5, minus 141. A lot of juice we're paying. But you guys been watching my daily show. You guys know how we've been cashing under 2.5 in Burnley, so I'll gladly pay it. Brentford versus Newcastle, over 2.5 goals at plus 114. Norwich, unable to score at plus 128. May throw in that halftime, full-time at plus 110. I like that point that Matt brought up, so look for me a little bit on Twitter. May do halftime, full-time. Then City over their team total at plus 116 over 2.5 goals. That's how we'll do it. As always, make sure you're following us on Twitter. We get lineups come out. We always make modifications to our card, add, and what have you. So just make sure you're following on Twitter. You can see it right there at the bottom of the middle of the screen. Match week number 27. Thank you for giving us a Premier League title race, Matt. Enjoy this weekend's games. Yeah, no, I did want to ask you one extra thing. If you wanted to do it, I don't know if you have a bet, but do you have a bet for Chelsea-Liverpool you want to give out? It's Sunday.
Yes.
Chelsea-Liverpool.
I think I think it's going to be a really close match. I mean, these two teams know one another. But yes, I think Liverpool in the draw no bet market around minus 140, or if you want to do minus a quarter around minus 110, so you would only lose half your stake. Those to me make a lot of sense, but it's a final. Anything can happen, and I do think it's probably low scoring.
Yeah, these sports books get on to my under 2.5s. It's at minus 148. You can bet it, but man, just a lot of juice. So yeah, I like it. It'll be a nice low scoring game. Liverpool probably pulls it out. This isn't the Chelsea team of last season, but look forward to watching the EFL Cup on Sunday. All right, certainly won't be watching West Ham Wolves. All right, that's it. So that'll do us here. Match week number 27. Get those bets in, folks. Tail us. If you're not going to tail us, that's your wallet. That's not our wallet. Sorry, fellas. Have a good one, Matt. We'll see you back here next week.
Thanks, Jason.